la stagione. Quindi questo deficit a livello di preparazione come lo affronterete? Buonasera. Sì, sapevamo che sarebbe stata una stagione estremamente lunga per noi e abbiamo fatto del nostro meglio e stiamo facendo il nostro meglio per essere in forma. Domani abbiamo fatto allenamento cardio, bisogna essere in forma per affrontare queste grandi squadre ed è quello che cercheremo appunto di fare domani. Cercheremo di giocare il calcio che sappiamo giocare. È stata presa una decisione dal vostro allenatore che ha lasciato Donnarumma a Parigi, quindi un commento su questa decisione, il fatto che lui era lì eh, per la tripletta, per il triplete e adesso non c'è. Il nostro lavoro è di allenarci, dobbiamo fare tutto ciò che è in nostro potere per far parte della squadra, ma sta all'allenatore poi prendere le decisioni. Io e il resto della squadra siamo pronti in forma per domani. Si è parlato molto con i del pallone d'oro, i vari candidati che ci sono anche nel PSG. Questo può creare problemi nello spogliatoio? No, assolutamente no. Siamo tutti concentrati sulla partita. A livello personale io ho tutto ben chiaro in testa, sono concentrato così come i miei compagni. È importante vincere la partita e vincere la Supercoppa. Filippo RTL, abbiamo parlato del fatto che la stagione è stata particolarmente fitta, intensa, quindi è stato difficile mentalmente e fisicamente riprendere dopo una pausa così breve, focalizzandosi su una partita che è già di per sé una finale. Beh, un po' entrambe le cose, fisicamente e mentalmente bisogna prepararsi, magari non siamo così freschi come vorremmo essere. Però sì, siamo rientrati a breve da poco dalle vacanze, però ripeto, siamo molto concentrati sulla partita, è la prima partita della stagione, ma questo è il nostro lavoro quotidiano, facciamo del nostro meglio per fare del nostro meglio. Sono alcuni nuovi giocatori, tre mi sembra. Cosa puoi dirci di questi primi giorni anche con i nuovi compagni? Beh, non abbiamo passato molto tempo con loro, però hanno iniziato bene, mi sembra che siano contenti, sono sempre sorridenti e quindi credo che abbiano la giusta mentalità e si stanno davvero impegnando a fondo e ci aiuteranno, ci daranno una mano importante.
Move on to Marquinhos, please. Away you go. Hi, Marquinhos. This is a the beginning of a season for you, and we know that your objective last season was the Champions League. So, how are you feeling? How are you starting the season? And as a leader, what are you going to do to ensure that this appetite is still there? Good evening, everyone. I'll probably speak in French if that's okay. I think that it's really a great pleasure to start a season like this. We obviously won the last Champions League and we're coming up against the winners of the Europa. This is the first game that we're playing, and the first game that we play happens to be the Super Cup final. This is the first time as me as a PSG player that I'm actually experiencing this, and I hope that this will be the first of many in the future. We are competitors. And when you're a competitor, there is no end goal. It's about always pushing that bar further. It's about racking up the victories. It's about winning and then getting back to the grind and working even harder. And that's what we do. as a group, as a club. So even if we've won the Champions League, that doesn't mean that that's just a box tick. The box ticks. There are always other things that we want to get our hands on. Winning once is great, but winning again and again, that's exceptional. And I think there are very few teams that have been able to pull that off. That will be our objective for this year. We want to keep PSG at the level that it's at. We're going to fight for different titles and different trophies. Pleasant. It's great. I've been through tough seasons, and it's hard to get your head back up after a season that didn't go the way you wanted it. However, coming back to work after the spell of great games that we had and after the Champions League, that's something that is a real source of motivation for me as a captain, for me as a player, for me as one of the veterans of the team. As I mentioned, I'm trying to motivate the others as best as I can until we win. And when we did win, it was an incredible moment for me, but it just whet my appetite because afterwards I was trying to think about what the next goal was. And I want to mark history and I want my name to go down in the history of PSG. That's what we're going to try to do tomorrow. And we have a perfect opportunity to do so. If we look back at the last season, we had a lot of highs, but we also had lows. If we think about the last final that slipped out of our grasp, we know what it feels like to win, and we also know what it feels like to lose. I think that that appetite to win, to beat other teams, and to really run on that high after games is what we're looking for. That's what we'll be looking for tomorrow. And to answer your question about the Ballon d'Or, no, for us, what's important is the team. I am now at a certain age. I'm 31 years old. I know that I hadn't won a Champions League before 30 years. And so if you were to ask me, would I prefer to be a candidate or nominated for the Ballon d'Or or win the Champions League? I would clearly say win the Champions League. Thank you for what you said about me. The individual prizes aren't what I'm looking for. It's the collective and the team that counts. Hey, Maki. So, as the captain, how do you make the arrival of a player such as Lucas Chevalier easier? What were the pieces of advice that you gave him, and how do you feel that he's settling in? The captain always has an important role when you've got a new recruit. Uh, we've had I've had very important captains who took me under their wing when I came to a club. I think that the captain is the one that's meant to go to the new recruit to talk about, to offer a shoulder if needs be, to say, I'm here if you have any doubts. I want to ensure that you can integrate in the best way possible. I want the new player to feel like they're at home, to feel that they're welcome with open arms. We do have that philosophy. We have our games philosophy. We have a very demanding coach. We know that it isn't always easy for the new guys coming in because they see all of this and they're having to do things that they're not used to doing, that the coach is asking them to do, things that are done differently from where you've come to before. And that's where the colleagues, the teammates, the veterans, the captain play an important role. So we want to do everything that we can to ensure that the new recruits are comfortable, that they've got everything they need, that we understand what they want, what they don't want. Talk about PSG, the club, the group, the team. That's what's important. That's what we focus on, and that's how we're going to win. That's how we have won, and that's how we're going to continue. So the idea is to really get them to embody that philosophy so that we can all move forward together as best possible. Hi, Marquinhos. I am from L'Equipe. Let me come back to Donnarumma. You are the captain of this team. I'm not asking you to talk about the decision that's been taken by Luis Enrique, but as a captain, you've had an incredible season with him. So how does it feel for you that he's not here? He's a friend, and he's a friend who's not playing on home turf. Yeah, it's always difficult. I said this in the interviews I gave earlier. I've been here for 12 or 13 years, and I've seen other players go through what he's gone through. So they found themselves in important players, players who are pillars, cornerstones, and at the end of the mercato, at the end of the transfer window, they're having to pack their bags and choose another club. But unfortunately, that's part and parcel of football. Football is exactly like that. The only thing that we can do as players, the only thing that we can give, and the only thing that we can say is to give everything we can to the players up until the last second that they're part of the club. That's what we ask of our players. I know that one day I'll have to leave as well. I hope to be sent backing in the best conditions possible. The players come and go, but the supporters, the fans, the history would always be here. And Gigio Donnarumma, he's part of PSG's history and he always will be. We're so proud of everything he's done. We thank him from the bottom of our hearts. We don't know whether he's going to leave yet or is he staying, is he going? And if he's staying, then we welcome him with open arms because what he pulled off last year was incredible, and it's thanks to him that we got to the final, that we are champions of Europe. So we owe him a lot. And if he goes, then once again, huge thanks. He's a beautiful person. He's a great leader. He's a great friend. He was so important in the dressing room for all of these years that he's been with us. But that's the name of the game. It's football. I can cite a lot of players who left, and I was upset about it, but and I know that if he were to leave, that would also be a blow to me. But I know that there'll be others who will go, and there'll be others that will come in, and we will continue going. We will troop on. What's important is just to give it on max to the club. We've got one last question for Marquinhos, please. In Spanish, please. Good evening. I'm from Popularis Sports. So, on a personal note and emotionally, how are you feeling at the moment, at this point of your career, and what is the mentality, what is the state of mind in the dressing room at the moment? I'll be answering in French if that's okay. I am very proud. I'm very proud. I'm so happy to be a part of this adventure, to have the opportunity to win another trophy, a trophy that will be very difficult because we've got two teams that are not at the same point. Obviously, we've been working. We worked at the end of our holidays, but Tottenham, they're probably fitness-wise in a better standing than we are. We but we haven't let standards slide. I saw the quality of passes, the quality of finishing, the quality of play during the training session. We're not perhaps at the top of our fitness levels or our physicality, but and we know that Tottenham's going to give everything. If I can give 50 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But we're going to try and maintain that level and the level that we need so that we can try and get a result in the bag. This is my 13th season. We won the Champions League final. That for me was wonderful, but I'm still hungry. I still want more. I still want to help the new recruits, the new players, the younger players, even those who have won the Champions League and they won the Champions League very young. I want to push them to go further. We also have a very demanding coach. It's not because we've won once and that's done and dusted and we can wipe our hands of it. He's going to push us to also achieve more, and that's how we're going to motivate ourselves, motivate our teammates to win the game tomorrow. Thank you very much. the spell of great games that we had, and after the Champions League, that's something that is a real source of motivation for me as a captain, for me as a player, for me. We're open for questions for Luis Enrique. Hi, Luis. I'm from L'Equipe. What do you think that PSG is capable of after just 1 week of training? Who answered this question? Hi, everyone. Who? Who asked this question? Over here, and I can ask it again. So, what are you guys capable of tomorrow after just a week of training? Honestly, I don't know. All I do know is that it's different, and it will be different from what we do normally. But I don't know, we've had less than 3 weeks, and we started training. We were happy, we were raring to go, and we wanted to prepare the game as best we could. But I don't know what the level is. I don't know what we'll be able to put out the bag tomorrow. Hi, Luis Enrique. I'm from RMC Sports. Donnarumma's not here. Lucas Chevalier is here. You are in the driving seat. You're the one that took this decision. Can you talk us through this decision? Why have you changed the goalkeeper? Renato is also here. So Lucas Chevalier and Renato are both here. I had to take a very difficult decision. It wasn't easy. I only have praises to sing about Donnarumma. He is one of the best goalkeepers out there without a shadow of a doubt. He's an even better man than a goalkeeper. But we were looking for a different profile for a keeper. And once again, I'll repeat myself, it's always very difficult to take these types of decisions in these situations. Hi, Luis. Philippe, I'm from RTL. A new season. We're on the dawn of a new season, even though the last one's just around the corner. A lot of emotions. France, Paris. We had been waiting for this for years, for a Champions League final. And then, obviously, you're out to conquer again. We always say that it's harder to stay at the top than to get to the top. So is that your number one challenge this season? And what are the different points of leverage that you're going to activate? What we did last season was an objective for the club, for the fans, for the team, for the players, for every player that had ever played for PSG. And we want to continue writing our history, and that means winning consecutive Champions Leagues. That's our objective. I don't think that anyone believed last year that we would be European champions, and we proved them wrong. We showed what we were made of. It is a dream, and it would be a dream to win a second Champions League in a row. We're happy, though. We're happy to have this dream that we're chasing. the fact that you've got so many in the list and do you have a favorite? No, I think I've actually already spoken about what the Ballon d'Or means, the fact that we've got so many PSG players, but this is an individual prize. This is something that's very important for those within the footballing world. But as PSG, as a team, the only objective we have is to win as a team rather than individual stars. I think that that's what's great for the supporters, for the players, for everyone to know that we have 9 players, 9 out of 30, that there should be more because they deserve it. But I think that we're talking about the team objectives and not the individual objectives. We're talking about a team sport here, which means that our club, our players, our fans want the team to go after the silverware.
In Italian. Please do. I'm very glad to speak Italian. Macedonian from Macedonia, speak a bit of Italian. Have you prepared for penalty kicks? And do you have a new Donnarumma in your goalkeepers?
No, that's not something that we've done as of yet, but it is normal and it is given the level of Donnarumma, it is completely normal. We understand people asking questions about him, but for me, I want to make the team better and I want to do this in the best way possible. And I believe that I've been quite clear with regards to the questions asked in this vein. And I am going to just to answer your question, no, we haven't prepared for penalties. We understand that it's very important for players to play. I understand what you're saying, absolutely. I know that you want me to give an answer with regards to Donnarumma, but I don't want to take any more questions on Donnarumma. My decision is a decision that I've taken. It's been supported by my club, and we are trying to find the best solution possible to continue. You've said this to us, you've said this to your players as well. You will be better this season compared to last season. So how are you going to be better after the incredible season that we've just seen? And for you, is it important for you to be able to double up for different positions so that you can have maybe fresh legs to bring on every time? I think that we have the right mindset to get better, to improve, but it will be difficult because we practically won everything. It's a very clean sweep. But that's the mentality that we have. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want to do. And that's how we're going to be preparing and how we have prepared for this season. It will be a very special season for us because we have the possibility to go down in history. It will be harder than last season, but it's a real source of motivation for us. I will be asking in Italian.
Opponents want to win through teamwork, and you perhaps are a bit tired, even given that you lost the last final. How ready are you to show unity, to find that winning balance again that you had last season?
This season was very long, but we had a lot of unity. We were able to play together. We've had issues and we had really difficult times throughout the season. But what helped us stand out from the crowd was a high level football, the high level of our players, of our stars, but everyone playing for the team. And that is something that we shouldn't forget. That's something that we're going to try and do tomorrow to put our best foot forward. And within the conditions of the game that are quite particular, but we are going to try and lead and we're going to try and exploit those areas where we can be better. And let's see if we put it off tomorrow. Thank you very much. a favorite? No, I think I've actually already spoken about what the Ballon d'Or means, the fact that we've got so many PSG players, but this is an individual prize. This is something that's very important for those within the footballing world. But as PSG as a team, the only objective we have is to win as a team rather than individual stars. I think that that's what's great for the supporters, for the players, for everyone to